Hey guys, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. I've got a bit of this one might surprise you. I'm going to save you about 20 bucks every 1,000 Ks for some people. There's a bit of a story behind it, so you need to be patient, but you may be really surprised. I was surprised. We've done a few sums on it. I need to double check all the numbers and get it all clear, and I'll explain. So you may have noticed in some other videos, and we're not moving at the moment, we're stationary, so obviously you can't get the right numbers now, but I'm going to tell you that I noticed this vehicle normally coolant temp at the top left there, 86 at idle. Normally driving's around 88, okay? The load reading, I'll tell you why I've got that up there in a moment, and the DPF. So this is what I noticed. I noticed the coolant sitting minimum 90 degrees, even with the aircon off, at 100, 105, and as soon as there was a slight incline, it was going up to 91, 92 degrees, which is not a big deal, but it's quite warm and it's abnormal. That's not what should happen. So then it was, okay, what's causing this? So a little bit of thought into the process, and I came up with two possibilities. One of them was a blocked air filter, and the other one was, so bull dust blocking up the air filter, or a lot of dust in the radiator cooling system, which I didn't think it was, and of course then it could have been a dirty MAF sensor, whatever the case may be. So I'll give you some numbers, right? So the coolant, I told you it was running up pretty high. So then I got curious, so I started looking at on the bottom right there, the DPF, that's the EGT sensor, and the bottom left is the load. So the load was, I'm just driving along, cruise control, 105, no conditions changed, just flat road, and I'm monitoring those readings, and I'm seeing coolant 90 to 92, DPF about 470, 480 was the most common, and the load was around about 60, which was pretty high considering the conditions. So I believe that the air filter's blocked and it's creating a load. Right, so I'm seeing, temperatures there, I'm seeing load a bit higher, and I'm seeing DPF temperatures, no worries. Okay, so stopped, changed the air filter, nothing else, just changed the air filter, and straight away we noticed the coolant temperature back to around 88. The load down around the 40 to 50 for comparable conditions, driving on the same road at the same speed, etc, etc. And the DPF, that EGT sensor temperature, from 470, 480 went down to about 410, 420, right? And the kicker, right? So fuel economy for that run, which is over 100 Ks, a flat road, fair run from engine start, was 10.6 litres per 100 Ks. And look, we've slowed down now because, well, we're speeding up again now, but we've been in a little bit of slower speed zones, to be fair. But before that happened, we were in 100 zones still. So for at least half an hour driving, and the fuel economy was down to 9.4 litres per 100 Ks before we slowed down. Okay, now it went to 9.3 because we slowed down for some 80 zone and roadworks and stuff like that, just a short few Ks there. Back into the 110 zone, we're back to 105 on the cruise control, we're just cruising. But so there's the main point of the video, where it's going to save you 20 bucks every 1,000 Ks. Think about this, right? So I had quite a bit of dust in the Lorella Springs, bull dust, and it's hard looking at the filter to know how much dust in there, how blocked it is, without, sometimes you put a light behind it. These filters, they're hard to check, okay? But given it was only a few 100 Ks of bull dust, we thought, okay, it'll be okay a bit longer, we'll get the dust finished, we've only got a couple thousand Ks of dust to go, and then change the filter. So the point is, if I would estimate that the vehicle's using about a litre per 100 kilometres more fuel with that dirty blocked air filter. So a litre per 100 Ks is 10 litres per 1,000, and on current prices, 10 litres per 1,000 is about $2.30, $23. So $2.30 a litre, $23 for that 10 litres. So $23 extra every 1,000 Ks. So after 2,000 Ks driving, So like I said, over $20 every 1,000 Ks. So after 2,000 Ks driving, $46, you've almost paid for a genuine air filter. So 2,500 Ks, 3,000 Ks, you've easily paid for a genuine air filter. So what you've got to consider is how long do you leave that filter in there, thinking that you're saving money by not replacing it, it's going to get dirty again, but you're chewing extra fuel, okay? About a litre per 100 Ks more fuel with this example of this 2022 Prado, okay? Nothing else has changed. As I said, this run along here, couple 100 Ks or so, 100 Ks or so, flat ground, cruise control, 105, and then, you know, the next run, bada bing, you know, instantly, you know, the fuel economy, a litre per 100 less. For the coolant temp to go up to 90, 91, 92 at 100 Ks at 22 degree ambient temperatures, that is creating significant load, which is why I switched the scan gauge to the load, which is why it's good to have a scan gauge, to be able to check these things. It's why it's good to watch these videos so that you follow my thinking and learn that step-by-step process of working out what happened. When you see these bloody road trains, move left, because yeah, we just copped a nice chip in the windscreen and only moving along at 80 Ks or something anyway at the time. Crazy. Anyway, you know, you just want to learn that, you know, the way of thinking. So first thing was, why is that, you know, straight away people think a problem with the cooling system, they want to, you know, change the radiator, change the thermostat, check the coolant level. Of course you can do that, but with a new vehicle you know that it's not going to be that. As I said, the chances were there's a possibility of dust blocking up the radiator and cooling system, but with a standard cooling system, when I say standard, there's no bull bar or anything up front, anything modified that's going to reduce the airflow. There's no tow bar, there's no towing. So straight away my first thought was the air filter. Now we're yet to clean the MAF sensor. That's going to be separate. We're going to do that separately to see if that makes any difference. So subscribe, turn the bell on. If you like my way of thinking and sharing that thought process, diagnosis on how to solve these problems, because the next part's going to be cleaning the MAF sensor at some stage. It may or may not make a video. If it doesn't make a significant difference, it's worth talking about, like at least 20 bucks every 1,000 Ks, which I'll probably have to call this video something like that, because it's really important. And they're the readings that we looked at, okay? So coolant temp was up, load was up, EGTs was up. That's enough, isn't it? And obviously looking, again, with that air filter out, looking at it, it doesn't look too bad, but it's all that fine bull dust you can't see. Even though we'd blown it out, we used the Roby, we used the little Makita, which seems to blow a lot of dust out, works really well on the cabin filters. We blew heaps of all the loose dust out, but the problem you've got is all that embedded dust into the air filter. Now, another part of the R&D, you might have had a laugh at one stage, you might have seen us washing some air filters. Now, that's not what we normally do, but you know, we like to do this bit of testing. So what I should have done, and I didn't bring it on this trip, the 1GD air filter that I washed, I should have brought it along. And what I'd like to do, now that we know the significant difference it makes by running with a blocked air filter, by putting a washed one in, is all the coolant temps and the load and the EGTs and the fuel economy going to stay good? So somewhere down the road, in weeks or months or a year or two, who knows when it's going to be, I'm going to clean this air filter sooner rather than later. I'm going to put it with the other clean one, and on the next trip where I can do that, I'm going to put those filters in, and we're going to do a video and take note of, did that clean filter? Because when you wash the filter, a lot of that dirt really falls out into the water. You can see it, use a bit of oxy action or whatever the case may be. You might think it's funny, but it's just for that R&D. And if it does come up clear, I mean, with the material they use on those genuine filters, it's quite dense. It's really thick material. It holds a lot of that gear. The problem with the filters is at the ends where they're not doubled up, that's where the dust seems to come through. More than the seal, more than the center area, it's each side. But look, I think we've spent enough time on this one now. I hope you liked it. Smash the like button if you learned something. Subscribe, turn the bell on is my advice, so that you can continue to learn and understand what's going on. Doesn't matter what vehicle you've got, what engine it is. The information we're sharing a lot of the time is you can adapt to your make and model of vehicle, okay? So it doesn't matter if it's a diesel or petrol or whatever, there's lots of information on our channel. I suggest you check out a lot of the older videos, check out our playlists on our channel and see what subjects might entertain you. And if you like even more information in the way I think and you want some trip information, we've we've got our other YouTube channel, 4x4 Adventures, spelled exactly the same, except the word adventures instead of diesel. 4x4 diesel, 4x4 Adventures. Subscribe on both. Catch you on the next video, guys. See ya.